Is Montana Jordan a better driver than Georgie? What is Ianrmitage's weirdest hobby? And why did Annie Potts insist on having gray hair? Stay tuned to find out these answers as we look at the best bloopers from the kids and adults in Young Sheldon.
Do I look like a baby to you?
Have you ever wondered what the kids of Young Sheldon get up to behind the scenes? They make a mess. Duh, that's what kids do. I mean, just take a look at this clip of Montana Jordan looking like he just fell into a cake.
Oh my gosh.
Turn around. Let me see this. Oh my God.
How childish. Whoops, I shouldn't have said that. Montana doesn't like it when his fans compare him to children.
A baby? This is a baby. Are you blind? Do I look like a baby to you?
Georgie isn't the type of kid you want to see behind the steering wheel.
You're gonna hit it. Well, you're in trouble now.
But Montana knows how to drive a truck and address a camera at the same time.
It's colder than a penguin's pecker out here.
Don't let his goofy antics fool you, though. Montana is a mature fellow when he needs to be. In fact, you could even say that he's like an old man sometimes.
Bingo, baby.
This is insane. I kind of like it though. I think I'm gonna keep it.
Reagan Revord likes to keep the mood upbeat as well. If you need a pick-me-up, her jokes are just what the doctor ordered.
Why did the hipster burn his tongue? Because he drank his coffee before it was cool.
Now that's a classic. But you know what isn't a laughing matter? Her bed. While Missy always looks all comfy and cozy when she's all tucked up in Young Sheldon, the experience is actually a nightmare for Reagan. But what could be so bad about being paid to lie down on a mattress in a hit TV series?
It's not very comfortable.
No, it's itchy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you have to pretend like you're laying there and you're really comfortable, but actually you're like...
Yeah, I'm like, itch, itch, itch.
How's anyone supposed to sleep tight when the bed bugs actually bite? Yikes. Someone get Reagan a better bed. Anyway, Ianrmitage is also a big goofball behind the scenes.
Do any of you goof around on the set?
Ian and I.
Well, I never.
Then again, Sheldon also has a fun side, so he's perfect for this role.
Excuse me, I was hoping to purchase some practical joke paraphernalia so that I may behave childishly.
So what type of mischief does Ian get up to? Well, for one, he puts people to shame with his sweet dance moves. And here he is disappearing into thin air. Ianrmitage was born to play Sheldon Cooper. I mean, he's definitely more pleasant than the mighty little man he plays on television. However, did you know that Ian is just as nerdy as his on-screen counterpart? He even collects rocks.
I have amethyst, reaganite, calcite, I have lapis lazuli.
That's a lot of rocks.
I have so many more.
One of the coolest things about Young Sheldon is the 80s setting. It's like a time capsule of a different era. That being said, the young cast members weren't born back then. But has the show helped them brush up on their knowledge of the time period? Let's find out.
Tell me what this is
A wig?
and how it works.
You do this and then you put that like it's like to get off like little stains.
Reagan was almost right. That's called a Flowbee, and it's basically a vacuum cleaner for your hair. Let's try another one.
It's one of those exercisey things.
How do they exercise?
Oh, like that?
Like that?
Maybe. Ow.
Not bad at all. Granted, Ian was supposed to use his legs for that exercise, but being able to bend one of those still requires some major strength. Moving on, let's see if anyone knows what this next ancient artifact is.
Say what?
It's a book.
Can I hold?
We know that.
He said it's a book.
Can I see? One of the phone books.
White
a phone book.
A book that lists phone numbers? Talk about a blast from the past. I think it's safe to say that these kids are real 80s scholars. But what do they like most about that era?
I like the weird hairdos.
Of course, it doesn't hurt that the kids are surrounded by some pretty wise adults who can teach them about the bygone era. Take Lance Barber, for instance. George might not be the wisest character in the show.
You know how when we're running practice drills and we wear protection so both people are safe?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
But Lance is admired on the set for his intelligence and wit.
You have a lot of nicknames on set. You're Dad, you're George,
Yeah.
you're Lancelot. I just heard Sir Lancelot.
That's an easy one to go to.
Then again, the adoration may have given him a bit of an ego.
A man with many names is many times loved, I believe, is a proverb.
Of course, nothing knocks you down a few pegs quite like being clueless in interviews. Check out Lance as he tries to figure out Australian culture.
Hoon.
That's a confusing one. Let's try another.
Tucker.
Tucker. Again, no idea. I've never heard that one.
Yes?
Tucker, you little Tucker, you...
Come on, Lance. Surely you can guess one of these correctly. One more time. The third time's always the charm.
Crikey! Crikey, Mike. I don't know what it means, but it's an exclamation. It means like, holy crap or something. It means, crikey.
Bazinga! He did it! Way to go, Lance! Of course, Lance also has his rude moments. Here he is trying to imply that Zoe Perry isn't a barrel of laughs.
And you have some good comedic timing.
Oh, well, thanks.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, some do.
I'm working on it. Season 2.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
We all know that Zoe's hilarious, but playing Mary Cooper was strange for her during the early stages of Young Sheldon. You see, Zoe's actually the real-life daughter of Laurie Metcalf, who played Sheldon's mom in Big Bang Theory. So you can imagine how stressful it must have been stepping into the shoes of her actual parent.
The stakes of going into that audition were pretty high, especially in my own mind. I was like, oh, I don't want to screw this up.
But she clearly knows her mom better than anyone, and that ultimately paid off in the end.
And then I was able to audition with our casting directors and Chuck and Steve, and the rest is my lucky history.
Now let's talk about Meemaw. It must be amazing going to work on Young Sheldon and realizing that you're sharing the screen with Annie Potts. This is the lady who voiced Little Bo Peep in the Toy Story franchise, after all. But does she ever reprise that character behind the scenes on Young Sheldon?
Oh, he hears it all the time. But I mean, most of the time I have my southern accent turned on, but I don't. Have I done Bo Peep for you?
You have. I think you have before, a couple times.
Voicing iconic characters in kids' movies has made Annie a hit among her younger co-stars. However, just don't expect her to be able to keep up with the hip, modern lingo they all speak.
What does that I'm dead mean?
I'm dead?
Yes.
Well, that's pretty obvious.
Annie doesn't care about keeping up with modern trends, though. Come to think of it, she actually rejects them. So much so that she actually insisted on having gray hair in Young Sheldon. All because she wanted Meemaw to feel authentic and show that there's nothing wrong with that in Hollywood.
I myself had recently just stopped dyeing my hair because it was like, who am I kidding?
That's how you lead by example. All in all, the Young Sheldon cast seem like one big, happy family behind the scenes. It's clear that they have a lot of fun being around each other and bring their own quirks to the set. Plus, you can totally see the similarities they share with their characters, and we can't imagine anyone else playing them. How sweet is that? But if you want more gross out and embarrassing moments, check out our video on Young Sheldon's most cringe-worthy behind-the-scenes moments.